The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Good luck.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Addicts podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I am your host, Brando, and joining me here today, as always, is this podcast player 2, Mike.
Oh, hello.
How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. No matter where you're listening to us, if it's your first time, of course, we are available on podcast services around the globe, including iTunes, Podbean, and Spotify, Stitcher, and so many other different ways. Visually, you can check out YouTube, and we're on Twitch Premiere now. Over at Game Addicts Play, Game Addicts Podcast. You'll find us there, guys. Thank you guys for joining us this week. We have some pickups. We got some news. We got some interesting stuff to talk about this week. Some more heavy stuff than we normally get into. Because I really feel like we got to try as a mindset to nip that certain thing in the bud. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But as always, we have pickups.
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So, on one of the later podcasts, I don't know which one it was, I stated that I only had 2 amiibos left.
You were wrong.
Actually, I think it was the last one. I was wrong. I didn't do my count properly. So, Amazon had a lovely little deal where they had them all in. And I was excited. But for those out there that are all about having each variant of each one and not blending them, I blended them. I have all the ones that I bought were the Japanese imports. So I have Skyward Sword, the Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Zelda, and the Zelda from Wind Waker, the female Zelda. Actual Zelda. So I bought these because I don't care if they're Japanese. I personally like the Japanese, but I'm not going to buy every single one of them in Japanese. Every single one of them in English.
Right. I mean, they're the same thing.
They're the same thing, but I know what they are.
Yeah.
Other people, like if somebody that doesn't know and just wanted to buy one, they wouldn't know, oh, this is Link, but which one is it? I know which one they are. So I had to buy it to complete because this makes, I have every figure, I state that, every figure now, not every variant of it. I don't have the double pack of the Wind Waker, but I am satisfied. I have every single one. This is what I've been going for, and I didn't have to spend $80 a piece on them. So I'm satisfied. Very happy that I got these. It completes the collection. Now I had to find a place to put them all. Okay, Alexa, I will. Thank you for interrupting me. Nobody could hear that but us. She randomly answers us now. I think she's kind of creeping on us. But so I bought all these, and I'm very happy with them. They're all in good condition. Only one of them's kind of crinkly. I'm okay with it. It's not like massively damaged, but where it was in the packaging, it might have got jarred. So I have all of them. I'm going to set them aside because you have large items that you're going to show.
I do have large items, yes.
But I still actually have gaming pickups.
Yeah.
So, our good friend, Blaine.
Dick Dongo, Dr.
From
Dongo.
Podcastrophe.
Dr. Dongo.
Which you can check him out on our channel.
I just made him a dentist now.
Huh?
The whole joke behind Dr. Dongo, it's like Dr. Dongo, OBGYN. He's a dentist. I said DDS.
Yeah. So he let me borrow Monster Hunter World because he bought 2 copies. Well, the other day, I believe it was Monday, Tuesday, something like that, he said that his girlfriend was going to play and he needed it back. And I was like, well, I don't want to give it up. So I went and bought him a brand new copy since that's what he gave me. So I officially own Monster Hunter World. I was borrowing it. Now I officially own it.
Awesome.
Which is still his copy. I just bought a brand new one because he gave me a new one in packaging. I was going to buy it new. I mean, I've already spent 60 hours on the game, so I already have my money's worth.
Exactly.
So I just went ahead and bought him a brand new copy because I felt that he gave me a new one. I should give it back to him.
Yeah,
He
you're
didn't care, but I cared.
Well, but I mean, you're giving it back to him in the same way that he gave it to you.
Exactly.
And, that way he's got that way he's got a new copy.
Because I told him, I was like, okay, so I'm going to buy a new one. Then I'll open it, put it in my tray, and give you the one that I used. But you gave me a brand new copy. So why would I do that? That's stupid. Here, have a new copy because it's technically this is new because it's been in my PlayStation. It's never been out.
Right.
So officially own it.
That's awesome.
Great game. Obviously, I have 60 hours in it. Loving it. Putting lots of hours in it. Still very surprised at how fun it is. And I've only played with like 3 weapons now. So I have a lot more to do. And it changes your whole strategy.
And you've linked up with Blaine and Tyler from Podcast
yes.
played as well.
Yes. Me and Tyler played last night and kind of just finished off some of his quests. And I picked up some items that I needed for some stuff. And then on our venture, we did a venture here recently, which you got a really good pickup, and I'm happy that you got it. You got it $10 cheaper. It's worth it. But I got what you told me about, Star Ocean First Departure for the PSP. I'm collecting these. Never really been a super big fan of Star Ocean, but it's one of those JRPGs that they're good, they're standing.
And I mean, they're Square Enix.
They're Square.
I don't know if it was Square from the get-go or if they were Enix. I don't remember.
Squaresoft.
Was it Squaresoft?
Squaresoft. Yeah.
I'd have to look at my copies to remember. But this is the only way to get this in America in English.
Yes.
This is the first Star Ocean game. It was released originally on the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
In Japan, but the only way to actually get this in physical copy in the States is on the PSP. And they also did a port or a kind of a slight remake of the second game, which was on the PS1.
Yes.
It was called Star Ocean Second Evolution.
Second Evolution.
And like that one is on the PSP as well, so you can have both of them. And I want to say when you put them together, one of them goes here.
And the other one is the other half of the Earth.
It's the other half, and it's pretty cool.
Or the planet. I don't think it's planet.
And of course,
Earth.
you got it with the original case and with the manual.
All in pristine condition. Everything is in great condition. As collectors, I was going to buy it anyways, but
I actually kind of hid that for you.
And didn't tell me that you hid it.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot.
But you know me, and you know that if I'm looking, I'm going to dig.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually have time, because sometimes, if you're with the wife, she's kind of doing her own thing. And like she goes and looks at her stuff for 5 or 10 minutes and you get to dig a little bit. And then she's like standing there leering over you. And you're like, I want to look. What do you want? And she's just, nothing. I'm just here. But you're like standing over me. I want to look. Because you know how it is. You get in the zone and you're like, I'm looking for certain things. You're trying to, in your brain, you're trying to remember like certain things that you want. Because I didn't make a list. I didn't write down a list. So I'm sitting there trying to think, like, I'm looking at the games. I'm like, do I have that one? I don't have that one. I know all my PSP games. Do I want that one? Do I really need that one? So I'm like doing this thought process. So I got it. I was very happy. I actually got it, with you. And there was a couple other things that I wanted, but I turned them down.
So the game that I picked up that was $10 cheaper than what you got, it was Axiom Verge for the Switch. Physical copy, it was only $20. I was going to pick this up when you got it, but I kind of chose to get other games instead.
Right.
And I actually passed on it. So I'm kind of glad I did because I got it a little bit cheaper. I haven't had time to even play it. There's
one thing that I will tell you, and I've told you before, but I'm going to tell you on the podcast. I love the game. I think it's a fantastic game, the way it's set in basically a computer world, which you kind of already gathered that by everything that's in it. There's a part where you use a specific weapon, and then you have crackling the entire game in every world or every area of the world that doesn't go away. It wasn't there before, and it's like computer interference. So it works with the game. So I'm wondering if you got a certain portion you use that weapon, it causes a disturbance. But it kind of bothers me. But once I got my mindset past it, I was like, it's part of the game. So you know what? I shouldn't be so nitpicky.
All right, so I got some records here, and the last episode was titled "Vinyl Addicts Podcast" because of how long I tangented about collecting vinyl, and it kind of dawned on me that I'm kind of stealing the Metal Jesus's gimmick because he makes videos about collecting video games, and then he also does the rare video like him collecting vinyl.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely doing some gimmick infringement here, but it's cool because I'm getting into
Metal Jesus.
Yeah, I'll be the Metal Judas. How about that? The Metal Judas. Anyway, so the first one I want to talk about is actually one that I talked about here on the air that I looked up while we were talking on the app, and that is the Symphony X Paradise Lost.
Which has a awesome cover.
Dude, this is my favorite album by them. I got into the band before this album dropped. I want to say I got into them in 06. Like 05, 06, and this came out in 07. I saw them on the second leg of the tour for this album.
Yeah.
And this has some of my favorite songs from the band. Artwork is tremendous on
yes,
this. Of course,
it
this
is
is based off of the big long poem, Paradise Lost. I don't know how well this is coming up on camera. It opens up with this big artwork. Maybe I'll post these on our Instagram. That way we can get some cool artwork stuff going on there.
I love the style of artwork. I just absolutely love it.
Then, of course, our little sleeves. The sleeve here is cool because it has this eye design on the CD. On the Digipack, you opened it one way, you open it another way, and then so it opened this way, and then these two things folded out, and then the CD was in the middle, and the CD is the eye.
The CD is the eye. That's awesome.
But then, you're not gonna be able to see this guys on camera, and I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna get this to show up good on a picture. But all on the sides are the songs and all the lyrics, and then they're all in diagonal. But this vinyl, I don't know if this has been released in any other color, but it's a see-through red, transparent red. And if anybody who's collecting vinyl or doesn't collect vinyl, typically your all black vinyl is going to be your 100% audiophile quality.
Yeah.
When you start going to other colors and other stuff like that, it does degrade it a little bit.
But you were still getting top quality sound with the vinyl.
It sounds better than digital.
Yeah, it's
going
to be better than a CD.
I put this on yesterday, right when I got it, and it was like,
I miss vinyl because it just has the best sound quality.
Now look, okay. See, the reason why I'm collecting vinyl, and I think I might have said it, is because I don't listen to music at home much. I don't ever listen to my CDs unless it was in my car.
Right.
That's been the thing. And I don't have a CD player anymore. Haven't had one since I was a kid. And then when I'm in the car, it's podcasts or Spotify.
Right.
So I'll throw on a playlist that has Metallica or Iced Earth. I have the entire catalog, and I just hit shuffle, and I hit next until I hear a song that I want to listen to. And that's kind of how I listen to music in spurts. But I'm driving. I don't really care.
Right.
It doesn't sound the greatest, but I'm driving. I'm just singing along and
you're zoning out.
But when I'm at home, I was thinking, I'm like, I already got a couple of vinyl that I got just because I found some good deals on this, a couple of awesome ones. It'd be cool if I can get some more because I love the artwork. I love, just like you said, this artwork is available on the CD version. But how cool is it? It's so big and it's so detailed.
One of the things I mentioned in the last podcast, I was trying to think of the name and it eluded me, that I wanted to make a wall, essentially just with the amazing covers that they have for these. I mean, for me, I would love to have the records. But I don't have. I have the room, but I don't want to take up the space.
Imagine if they made a record, an LP version of the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack.
Yep, it would be bought.
Mm-hmm. All right, so today,
click bot.
Today,
if you show me that, I'm gonna smack you.
No,
I'm just to tell you right now. If you show me that, I'm gonna smack you.
It's something else, okay? Because I didn't send you the picture, but I did send Nate the picture. Because we've been talking about music and vinyl, all this stuff. Anyway, so here it is. Some of you already know about this, but our local record store, has Shenmue the soundtrack on vinyl.
Which is awesome.
And it's completely awesome. And it's also $99.99.
Oh.
It hurts. I don't want that enough. Like,
so here's the question. Are you going to start melding vinyls in gaming?
if it's the right thing, like for example,
7, yeah.
7, yes.
9,
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then of course the Mass Effect. I might even get those because those have some pretty cool soundtrack stuff going on there. If it works to the music, if I love the music in the game, I'll get it.
Right.
But like the thing is that I don't have that nostalgia for the Shenmue soundtrack to get it.
Right. It's kind of like how I learned about Bullet from a Valentine off of Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally canceled every other song out because you can select your track. No. And that's the only one that played because it was just a badass song to drive to. So I get what you're saying.
So like I could go out and buy that vinyl.
Yeah,
but
for
I would
$100?
For $100, yeah. But I would much rather let somebody else get that has the nostalgia for that.
Right.
I like the game. I wanted the game for my collection. Don't get me wrong. But I am not a diehard to the point where it's like, oh, I gotta have the vinyl for that so I can complete my Shenmue collection. No.
Right.
I want someone else to have a shot at that. I have no desire to own that. But yeah, I got this on the Discogs app. You can get that on your favorite phone, whatever you're using, and you can catalog it, or you could go and buy and sell. And I found this on there for about just right about $30. Maybe it was like $29.99.
Yeah.
And considering that it's difficult to find, kinda, it's not impossible. But like Amazon had it listed for $27, not in stock, and that's because that album hasn't been reprinted. There's always a chance that it could be.
I just love the artwork in this where like the pillars, they have the pillars in here. It's consuming the angels, and then you've got, it just looks amazing. Like the waterfalls with the pillars in the background. It's consuming angels. It's just phenomenal.
If you ever get a chance, like the whole album is about the story of Paradise Lost.
So I get it. I like heavy music, but it's too, like, Iced Earth and them are too heavy for me. I'm not saying that I dislike them. It's just, for me to listen to, I feel like they're just too heavy, unless this is lighter. But Symphony X is normally pretty... Okay,
so Symphony X is more prog metal, symphonic metal, and where they're kind of all over the place. Yes, this is probably one of their heavier records.
It's just too heavy.
The song Paradise Lost is fucking beautiful. Same as The Sacrifice. Those two songs are beautiful fucking songs.
Are they their normal style, or is it them slowing down?
That's them slowing down. Those are like the ballads on the album.
Okay, I'll listen to those, but the rest of like Symphony X is just always...
Okay, so Iced Earth to me is like... I disagree with you on the fact on their heaviness, because they remind me much more of like a balanced, like Metallica type thing, because they like
the songs I've heard from them have been pretty heavy.
Like, okay, so first two songs are pretty heavy. Raven Wing is more of a balladish. The Veil is this weird ballad, and then it's all kind of straight up. Like Seven Headed Horror is the heaviest song on here.
Yeah.
On this album for the Incorruptible record for Iced Earth. And that song will remind you of like Slayer and Testament, but that's also Seven Headed Horror is like one of the heaviest songs Iced Earth's ever written.
Really?
Yes. Anyway, so I got this. Now, if anybody listens to Journey into Comics over there on the Journey into Comics network, you'll know that this week's episode is called Iced Earth and the Uberman.
Yeah.
And me and Nate, for the last half of that episode, just gush on our trip down to Indy, and we went and saw Iced Earth, one of my favorite bands besides Metallica.
Right.
Like those, like when I was going through my musical journey, I hung my head on Metallica and said, "This is my band." I got into some other bands, Metallica, then I went to Megadeth, and then Pantera, and then some Maiden. I love all those bands, but as far as like my band, this was the next one that was my band.
Yeah.
That these guys spoke to me in the ways that, other people didn't. And so one thing I did get is the collectible art book for Incorruptible, and it's a 2 10-inch vinyl set. If I can try and get this out, because it's an art book first.
Yes.
But this is the limited see-through transparent orange, which matches the flame color scheme, which I love.
It looks fantastic.
Oh, it looks beautiful. And so this comes with the 2 10-inch. The album's on, obviously on the 2. It also comes with the CD. So if you don't own this, it's a great way to get that as well. But then it's like...
But more than likely you're not going to buy this because this is a limited run of 200 only.
Well, okay, so for the orange one, it's 200. They have a red one and they have a gold one.
Oh, okay.
And you could get those in other places online. It's still pretty limited because I want to say that as far as the art book in itself, only 3,000 in the world exist. But for the orange one, only 200.
Right.
And I wanted the orange because
the
color scheme. And the
artwork on this is absolutely gorgeous.
I fucking love the artwork for this album. I love the cover with their mascot set kind of getting, it's like their version of getting burned at the stake.
Yes.
And he has that evil grin. They got an artist, I want to say John, the main guy of the band, called him Tattoo Dave.
Tattoo Dave.
And he did all the artwork. And of course you have some inner liner notes. But then you also get these great big full page
which is
views
amazing
of the artwork. And for each song has its own piece of art.
Right.
And definitely some of these like the one I just showed on camera, if you could see it, is like a Viking dude.
Yeah.
And that could be the album cover.
Is that the one where he's decapitating?
Yeah, he's fucking swinging the axe.
Yeah.
That could be the album cover.
It's badass.
Easy,
It's amazing.
So I got this. This was expensive. But I actually saved my money from taxes from what I had left specifically to get this and a shirt.
Yes.
So I went down there with money in my pocket. And I went down there and I said, I want this. He goes, that'll be $75. I'm like, you can have anything but my firstborn. And he's like, right on. Anything else? I'm like, I think I'm gonna get a shirt, but I don't know which one. And I decided on the Viking one, which is that song is called "Great Heathen Army."
Right.
That's the shirt. And then a little bit later on, after the show was over, I kind of decided I wanted another one, and I picked up just a regular album art tour shirt because I haven't actually got a tour shirt from the band since the first time I saw them.
Huh.
Because when I got the VIP the other 2 times, you got exclusive VIP T-shirts for each one. And since both me and Kate went, I got two T-shirts each time.
Right.
And she'll wear them every once in a while, but it's like if I have 2 copies of the same shirt, so
right.
But now it's like I got the Heathen Army shirt, and I'm like, I kind of want a tour date shirt. I know everybody gets that, but it's like I love the album, I love the cover art, and that's what it is. And also I love the fact that the logo is kind of just faded out. My very first Eister shirt from 2004 is naturally faded everywhere. And you know how the art starts flaking off and printing?
Yeah.
Dude, that didn't do that at all, and it just slowly faded and melted into the black. So the black just kind of comes out a little bit. It's the most beautiful just faded shirt I've ever owned, man. But it's got holes, and it's time to retire. So if you want to hear the full story of our experience at the Eister show, great experience. It's probably one of my best concert-going experiences of my life. Definitely go check out the Journey into Comics episode because we spent an hour gushing about it, and we are so tired.
Yeah.
We got done recording that episode at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get to bed till after 5 this morning. But
that's when you're normally heading to work.
I know. And you know what? Some of the guys that went with us or which met us there, they were getting up for work, and I talked to Joe.
Yeah, he told me.
A little bit. He's like, But here's the pic. It's not going to show up on camera. I'll take a picture of it and put it on our Instagram, Game Addicts Play. But there's a whole story about how I got the pic. So I got this album out just around lunchtime, put it on my player. I got it set up, and it doesn't work right on my player.
Because you do not have the proper player.
Maybe, maybe not. I gotta look into it. Okay, I gotta really do my homework. I didn't have time today.
Right.
Okay, because I had to come into town. Of course, we're doing our show, and I was a little bit pressed. I tried a few things and it didn't work, and it just played it too fast. I have my player has two settings, 45 and 33. Those are the main settings. It says whenever you get an album, it'll say on it 33 and a third RPM. So that's what it needs to be set at.
Right.
These right here are at 45.
Right.
Okay. So I set it on there, 33, and it was just too fast. 45 was way too slow.
Huh.
And so 33, and I tried a few things to move it around. My player only has a 12-inch and a 7-inch. This is a 10-inch, so I got to manually move the needle, which is fine. But it wasn't playing right. Maybe I'll work on it. Maybe I'll get it figured out. But my goal was always to get the regular black version of this album, so that way this one could stay a collector's item.
Right.
I was thinking maybe I'll play it a few times and then just put it up, and I'll get the black one.
That one's heard on camera.
That one might have got picked up by the mics, but I figured,
This is bothering me.
oh, the hair.
Yes.
You didn't get it. Try again. There you go. Yeah, so I was gonna get it eventually. I was just gonna kind of sleep on it and pick it up whenever, because the album's still pretty new. I just recently picked up the last album before this one, and I had zero problem finding it.
Right.
So I was like, I got a couple years yet.
Right.
But when it didn't play right, I'm like, son of a bitch, I guess I'll go buy it. So that's what I did. I went to the record store before I got here today, and I picked up the regular version of the album. I have no qualms. I want to go. I want to go home tonight, and I want to throw this on, and I want to hear what this sounds like on vinyl. Because the album's great. I've jammed this album. I know all the fucking words to nearly every song. It's great. This is probably, man, it's hard to rate. It's hard to rate albums for bands that you just love the catalog.
Yes. I end up rating songs.
There's that.
Usually how I do
This album has 6 songs on here that are definite plays for me every time I listen to it. There are 3 songs in the middle that I could probably skip depending on the mood.
Right.
But the whole first side A, and then 2 songs on side B, and then side C. Is it? Wait. There's no side D on this.
Does it have all the songs?
Yeah.
Because it's a larger vinyl.
It is, but see, now I want to open this and figure out what the hell's on.
Open it because I'm going to pull a mic.
Mike's got to go pee. So Brando's going to open up this vinyl, and it's. What are you doing?
I tried to push them.
Did you step on it?
I didn't. I did not step on it. I tried to push them, and it made a noise that scared me.
Do you have a knife?
Of course I do. There is knives in every corner of this house.
Thank you, sir. So I'm definitely going to open this up because I am just a little bit curious about what the hell is on that side D. You all right in there, pal? He made like a guttural grunt sound. Yeah, there's tape on this damn thing. That's why I need a knife. Somebody taped the plastic on here. It's still sealed. It still has the stickers on it and everything, but it's definitely taped, and that's why it's a little difficult to get off. I am so curious about why the songs are only on 3 sides. There's a longer song at the very end of the album, and I was for certain that just that one song was going to be on there. Holy crap, dude! You got ducks in here that I should know about? Usual. Knifey.
It just closes.
I tried to, and then I didn't want to hurt it. Okay, so.
You know how it is.
Okay. So side D. Here we go. I'm gonna pull this one out. Oh. All right. So this came with an extra large book that has the artwork. Also,
same artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I still love that.
dude, that Viking artwork is
That
badass.
Viking artwork is badass. The undead Viking. I like the seven-headed
Yes,
horror.
absolutely. So yeah, that's just the art. Like, there's nothing else. All right.
Where, buddy?
So now we got side C. Oh.
Oh, that's wicked. That is sweet.
So on side D, instead of the music,
it has artwork.
it has engraved into the vinyl the dude that's on the cover, Set Abomine, their mascot. Whoa. I just got a nerd boner.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, I was so certain because the last song on the album is like this big long epic, and I'm like, well, that's they might have that just on the whole last side of the thing, right? But no, dude, on side D, it's just, oh my gosh.
Dog meat's tired. He went on a run today.
So now, like, it's actually like even more worth it that I bought this, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, something even different than what I got with the
He's
book.
going to snap a picture here live.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to.
Here.
Here, you
Let
hold
me
it,
have it, yeah.
like that. Okay.
Is it straight?
Yeah. There we go. I got it. Hell yeah, man.
Let me see it. I think you've been moving it around. I haven't actually got to see it.
Okay, I'm sending that to Nate. For
That is
sure.
super wicked. That is amazing.
Hey, Pad. How you doing, buddy?
I just love it when bands do stuff like this.
Dude,
to me, it just adds to.
it's something extra.
It's just amazing.
They could have left that blank.
Yeah.
They could have left that blank. But instead, they're like, you know what? Let's put that on there, because that's going to be, someone out there is going to think that's the coolest shit ever.
It looks wicked. Wicked as hell. Here you go. Open your sleeve.
I'm jamming to this tonight.
Oh, I know you are.
The girls are having a girls' night tonight,
Yeah.
which means Brando's going to take the kid home after we get done doing the podcast, which means I can't hang around too much longer. But once he's down, we'll be hanging out in my game room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm jamming to some Incorruptible. So yeah, I picked up the regular black, and then also I was looking around and I picked up Iron Maiden Power Slave. It's probably my favorite standalone full album from Maiden. As I said before, I love Maiden. I love a lot of Maiden songs. But as far as like full length albums, I like this one, Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, and maybe like a couple others that I would get on an actual full blown vinyl.
Painkiller.
That's Judas
I know,
Priest.
but you got to get Painkiller.
I'm gonna get Painkiller.
You better get Painkiller.
But see, and then even for Priest, I want to get like Judas Priest, Painkiller, Screaming for Vengeance, than that. Maybe the new one. That new fucking Priest album sounds killer. I was talking to somebody at the show about that last night, and they're like, dude, like that new Priest album.
I just went into the Priest randomly. I wanted to throw you off. I wanted to throw you off. You thought I was talking about Maiden, didn't you?
I thought you made a mistake.
No. That is one of my favorite albums. And my CD, I still have it. You look at the back of it, it's so bad that it won't play on anything. Like, nothing. I don't even think it's recoverable. But my dad gave that to me as one of my CDs, and I just, like, when CDs were coming out and really getting popular, he bought it, and I was still jamming out to cassettes. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember cassettes.
I remember having all the Guns N' Roses.
On cassette?
Yes.
All right, guys. So we got some actual gaming news now that the Metal Judas is done talking about his music endeavors. And the first one we're going to talk about is Final Fantasy 15 DLC. Rollout may continue into 2019. The first will focus on Arden and and an episode about Luna Freya might be coming too.
It better, because you don't get hardly anything about Luna Freya.
Just thought it'd be interesting.
That's the thing, is that to get the full story of this stinking game, still haven't beat it, you have to buy all the DLC for it to make sense.
And you got, well, I mean, then
You got to watch the movie first,
well, yeah, I gotta watch the movie first.
because you don't know what's going on.
All right, so
Angers me.
okay, so I want to get these shirts made for Game Addicts at some point, where it says Devil's Playground and the GameStop logo style, and I want to get like where it says like power up. I want to say I wanted to say horns up, for the devil.
Yeah.
And then I also thought like in the Final Fantasy font, getting watch the movie first. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Anyway, so I thought this is really cool news.
You didn't say anything to me about it.
Rise of the Tomb Raider coming to Xbox Game Pass. So for $10 a month, you get like about 100 games that you can download your Xbox One and play as long as you're subscribed. This isn't a streaming service; you download them just like you would any other game on the Xbox Marketplace. And now Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming to the Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, if you haven't played Rise of the Tomb Raider, get it. It's a fucking awesome game. If you like the reboot, this is that and more. Like, it's the next step.
I'm still holding off on buying the PlayStation.
Yeah, but I'm like, I definitely hope you will at some point, because I know you like the reboot.
Yeah.
And
Not fond of them making a movie out of the reboot, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And now they're making Barbie dolls from that. But I actually think that's kind of cool, because like it gives girls a figure that isn't just archetype A. Laura's definitely not that archetype.
No.
So now what we're going to talk about.
I still love the best line in that is, "I really hate tombs."
Yeah.
Huh.
So
very contradicting to what you are at an older age. But anywho.
So we haven't talked about it because we try to stay out of public.
Oh, you're jumping into that one?
And political events and topics and all that kind of stuff, because that's not what we're about. We're here to talk about games. We're here to talk about, the latest and greatest and old school games, whatever we're doing, whatever we're collecting. And, as I'm getting into vinyl, I want to start introducing some cool stuff that I pick up for that. And, some cool stories at least. And, admire that. But this, I read this today, and I'm like, I got to talk about it, because the elephant in the room. Okay, so there was a really bad shooting in the country at the Parkland School in Florida. But I think at this point it'd be about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, as this episode airs on the for you guys to hear. So, like, I don't want to get into the politics of the issue, okay? Because that's a rabbit hole that we could go down, and we can debate that back and forth all night.
I don't think there'd be too much debate between us.
But still, like, today, our president said we have to do something about violent video games and movies. And he basically...
Anytime there is a shooting involving a child or a adolescent, they always blame it on violent video games and violent movies. Always.
In a White House meeting held with lawmakers on the theme of school safety, President Trump offered both a direct and vague call to action against violence in media by calling out violent video games and movies. We have to do something about what kids are seeing and how they are seeing it, he said during the meeting. We also video games. I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence on video games is shaping more and more of people's thoughts. Trump followed the statement by referencing that movies that come out that are so violent with the killing and everything else. He made a suggestion that for keeping children from watching violent films, maybe they put a rating system for that.
You're a genius, Mr. Trump. You are, I guess I'm President Trump now, but you're a genius. I wish somebody else would have thought of that a long time ago. Like, what, 50 years ago? 40 years ago? However long the rating system's been in here? Yeah, bang head here. The man running our country.
For a long time, we've had our rating systems for motion pictures.
Yes.
It goes as such. G for general audience. PG, parental guidance suggested. PG-13, parental guidance, or you have to be over 13 to really see this without a parent.
Yes.
R for restricted, for anybody who is under the age of 17. They will still let you in as you're younger if you have a parent with you.
Right.
But if you're by yourself, you're not 17, you're not getting in this movie. And then now most theaters don't show anything above that with the whole X-rated or NC-17. That usually those don't get shown in major theaters either. So when you go buy a movie,
It's been in way longer than we've been alive, I'd say.
when you go buy a movie from any store, whether that's Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Meijer, anywhere other than maybe a secondhand store, they card you if it's rated R. I've been carded for a movie before. Yeah. Sometimes they just click it because they see I'm older than 17.
Right. And most of them do, because you look at either one of us, it's like, oh, yeah, definitely over the age of 17.
Yeah, so...
Except on days that I kind of shave.
But then, like for the games, it's the same thing.
Yep.
You have rated E.
I've been carded for games.
Same. E10, rated T, MA, and then or rated M for mature. And then there's also one. There's AO, adults only, which no major retailers will sell that.
No.
Originally, in Australia, GTA got an adults only rating, and you know what? Manhunt 2 originally got an adults only rating, and they had to edit out the kills here in America. Now, they're wanting to put in place systems that make it harder to buy a video game or a movie for a young child to see that, but they are rescinding and they don't want to make it harder to buy a weapon. I'm not saying one way or the other. I have my own personal opinions. You do too. But look at the dichotomy of what you're saying. You're literally saying, well, this is okay, but well, this certainly isn't. And it's a double standard. Okay? I don't want guns to be banned. I'm just saying maybe you should make it a little bit more difficult for the right people, for the wrong people to get their hands on this shit. Because then, but they're so gung-ho about making sure that young kids, like I agree, no kid should be buying Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto without a parent being informed.
Yes.
If they are okay with it, then that is the issue. You know, yeah. Then if that kid does something irresponsible, then you're on the parent.
Right.
Okay. And there's another news story that kind of goes along with this. I'm a little fired up about this because I read this and I was like, my mind was blown that, you know, basically what you have in politics is typical blame shifting.
Now, my question is what really pissed you off the most? The fact that our president doesn't know that we have a rating for movies?
Well, I agree with that. No, that's completely ridiculous. But I'm just like, it baffled me. It baffled me because it's like, you know, on one side of the political spectrum, you're like, ban all assault weapons. The other side is like, no. In fact, some of those guys are taking money from associations that are trying to make it easier for mentally disturbed people to get weapons. Yeah. But yet, what are they saying? Well, it's it's mental health issues. Well, then why don't we put some more funding to back this one than health bill? No, we can't do that. But come on, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Apparently, yeah. So in Rhode Island, a representative has proposed to raise a raise in tax on M-rated games to fund mental health provisions in schools. Reports that Republican member for the House for the State House in Rhode Island, Robert Nardilio. I probably messed that up. Has plans to increase the tax on games with ratings of M or higher by 10%. And the statement follows what I just said about what Donald Trump said about games and films to shape young people's thoughts. After the shooting down there in Florida, there's evidence that children exposed to violent video games at a young age tend to act more aggressively than those who are not. The bill would give the schools an additional resources needed to help students deal with that aggression in a positive way.
But it doesn't state what it would do.
Not necessarily. GamesIndustry.biz pointed out that the United States Secret Service's own research found that less than 20% of school shooters played violent video games. Our goal is to make every school in Rhode Island a safe and calm place for students to learn. He added that this congressman who currently has a 93% currently has a 93 approval rating from the NRA. Our goal is to make every school in Rhode Island a safe and calm place for students to learn, added Nardillo, who currently has a 93 approval rating with the NRA. So he does. By offering children resources to manage their aggression today, we can assure a more peaceful tomorrow. Now, look, we do need to do something about kids with mental issues. Okay?
Yes.
But you're telling me that, like, right there, you're by doing what he's wanting to do, you're putting the blame on a certain medium.
Well, so in this I have a little confliction. So I get what you're saying. Don't do this to these companies or just the video games and stuff. But
you're taxing us,
right?
You're putting a greater tax on the customer to fund this because they don't want to fund it themselves,
right?
But they're willing to pay for other stupid crap that we're not even going to get into because this is a rabbit hole. This is a rabbit hole you go down to because whether or not you agree with the policies of the current stuff goings on, there is bullshit crap that they want to fund that is more important to them than this. And in order to get this, he's like, let's just tax them.
He's trying to find a way. I get what he's trying to do. Like I don't agree with it.
No.
But they won't maybe. Is it only in their state won't do it, or the Senate won't allow them to do it?
What are you talking about?
Get funding.
Well, no. This is a bill that was put into by the state representative or in the state house of Rhode Island. This is just a bill proposed for that state.
Right, but I'm saying is that are they saying that the state won't put funding towards?
They're not saying it won't, but this is this guy's proposal for a bill that would allow schools to get funding for that. The article did not state whether or not they are looking into it or not. This is just his idea.
I get he's just trying to find, if they can't get the money, he's trying to find a way to get the money. That is noble, and it is, it is a positive direction, but not the way that he's wanting to go.
No.
I think that it should be a proposed bill to say, hey, we're going to raise the taxes in Rhode Island because we're looking towards trying to help our youth. That would be, okay, so you had to pay $10 extra a month on your taxes to help out the schools deal with mental problems. I would be more for that than when I go to purchase this, I have to pay 10% more.
Whenever you have politics, each side has different beliefs and different importances for what they put their time and their money into.
Depends on who's lobbied them.
Exactly. So when they've got in this administration, they've made cuts and proposed cuts to education. So no more money. So less money.
They're going to cut money to education, but they're going to tax video games to fund something in education.
If you would, let's see. Okay, so we have a public school system here that is funded by the government.
Yes.
Okay, and yet they want to pull money from that to fund A, B, and C, and D things over here. But they don't want to lose this stuff that is more than likely a waste of time.
Yep.
And this is bullshit.
It's all about money filtering.
This is bullshit because now you're blame shifting. Now you're taxing people. You're taxing adults who play these adult video games. I have plenty of it.
Every time you hit the table, it turns my mic down.
I'm sorry. But damn it.
Let me tighten it up here so that they can.
This shit pisses me off. And I think it goes to show you, like, just how unaware, like, Trump is. He didn't even know there's a rating system for the fucking movies? Where's his brain at? And, I mean, you could from there go down. I don't care if you agree with him on other issues. I don't care. I'm not talking about that. I am not, and I'm not even sitting here. I'm not even sitting here talking about the gun argument. I'm not having that argument with anybody because everybody has their own thoughts on that.
Yep.
And if you're for it, I'm not going to sit here and argue against you because I have my views, you have your views. If they're aligned, that's cool. If they're not, I'm not going to argue because you're not going to change my mind, and I'm obviously not going to change yours.
Right.
So literally, we are two sides of a magnet. And we are just wasting our time. But blaming other media, like look at during wartime, how much shit they just show on TV.
Yep.
You know, they don't show everything.
Nope.
They don't, but they
don't
show
the stuff that's actually making an impact on the country. They don't show how they're trying to the people are trying to do something to establish some type of government in Iraq to help manage this void because they were fully dependent on this one person to think for them.
Yeah.
And they want to show all the other shit. They don't want to show, this is the positives that's going on here. They want to show, well, so-and-so, we lost 30 people in this war. Why are we doing this? They don't see the positive.
Well, because they're just like the media.
You can tell that's a hot topic for me.
The media is like, but that's okay because they'll be allowed to show it.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. But then, like all of our entertainment that comes out, it's like
it's news. It's not entertainment. It's news. The people need to know about the news. That's their argument. I hate to just blurt it out there, but
they're allowed to show that. But then, they're not allowed to show boobs. You can show somebody getting killed on live television, but you can't show a breast.
Yep.
Crazy world we live in, guys.
But that's none of my business as I sip on my drink.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. I do not agree with any additional taxes on media. His goal was fine, but his means to the ends is not
right.
And that bugs me because we should be putting more money as a country into our schools and into our future, into our educational system, into getting our teachers more pay. There's that old argument about the athletes and the teachers. Well, the government doesn't pay the athletes,
right?
And so that's a stupid argument, But like, it is crazy how we have a system of we have a declining system because people don't want to be teachers because they don't make enough money. Think about it. We work with somebody who has a teaching degree, but is working at a factory because that's where she's making money. So,
yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going to do recommendations. We haven't done recommendations for a little bit.
I don't remember if I used Monster Hunter as my last recommendation.
I don't remember. I don't even remember the last time we actually did a recommendation.
I don't either. Zuki's snoring.
Zuki.
Zukadook.
Snoring on my bag. As usual. I haven't played games in a while.
Well, if I didn't, and if I did, Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
You know what? I'll just go ahead and say Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that. I will say, guys, go out and play that. It's on PS4. That one's actually the better version to get because you get all the DLC with it, and you can get like a...
Does the Xbox version come with all the DLC?
No.
Well, I mean, the Xbox...
Game Pass?
Game Pass.
Probably not. It's probably just a base game. That would be my bet because then you would be able to get the game, but you still pay them money. But the PS4 standard to you, since it was exclusive to Xbox first, comes with all the DLC that was released
right
on the disc. So That's the one to get, and it was also enhanced. There's like a VR mode for like a something that is not really that important, but it was also but the PS4 version I want to say was also enhanced for PS4 Pro.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
And I'm sure since then they've had an update for Xbox One X.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know. I haven't been following it, but definitely check out Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a third one coming at some point. Square has said, "Hey, it's coming. We just announced it because we covered that a few months ago.
Yeah.
We don't know when exactly it is, but just know that when we announce it, it's not going to take that long to get to you." So
I'm very happy that they've, redid this franchise because I always liked the original, like Tomb Raider 1 and 2. Third and fourth one, they're okay, but first and second one, the second one I played the crap out of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great game, and I'm glad that they brought it back up, and it's a lot of fun. I really like the quick time events. I really like the Uncharted style where you have to maneuver through objects as they're falling. I like it's
fun.
It breathes more life into it.
I agree. Absolutely. I absolutely adored playing the remake or the reboot, and as I said earlier, Rise is just more of that and more.
Yep.
It kind of adds to it. So I think that's going to be it for us this week, guys. Thank you guys for joining us, and I know it's kind of a hot topic episode. We're not always going to get into this, but I felt like it was necessary, especially with some of the. It just seems like some of the people who are leading us are making decisions who are actually ignorant to the things that they're making decisions about.
Yes.
And that bugs me because it's like, if you're going to make a decision, inform yourself. And don't let these other people tell you. He said, I've had people telling me that this is happening. Well, why don't you do your research? Sit there and inform yourself and then make your own opinion. Even if I disagree with his opinion, if he sat there and said, I researched this, I saw this, but like whenever you hear him talk, he's just, it's almost like he's oblivious and he just has people telling him stuff. And that's not a guy that I want to.
That's Trump.
That's just not a guy I want to look up to, even not like more so as a president, but even if like he's my boss at work. I want my boss to at least know what I'm doing. And if I'm doing something wrong, he should be able to tell me, well, you did this and this and that, and here's what the work instructions say to do, yada yada yada. And it's like, well, you didn't follow this part.
Right.
We've had a boss before that was like that and had no idea what the heck he was talking about, and it wasn't any fun because you felt like you were like literally what I was doing earlier, beating your head against the wall.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for checking out this episode of the podcast. You can find us, again, as I said, on podcast services all across the globe, including the big three, iTunes, Podbean, and Spotify. Thank you for getting us on Spotify. It has been a long time coming, but we're there.
Yes.
Of course, on YouTube, you can see the video where we're sitting here at the table with these awesome things we got, You can follow us on there. And now we're on Twitch, but we're not streaming yet. But the thing is, like, the premieres are like a preamble. It's the same thing as the video that goes up on YouTube.
There's actually a thing that you're going to do before you leave.
If I got time.
It won't take you very long.
Okay. Anywho's it. Of course, you can check us out on Instagram at Game Addicts Play. I am going to take pictures tonight of the stuff that I was talking about here today, some of the artwork and stuff like that, so that way you guys can go check that out and see that firsthand. If you want to help support us and support the network, please go to the patreon.com/Journey to Comics. That is the Journey to Comics Network Patreon, where you get all the episodes up to a week early, right when they're done, and they're uploaded there. You can get this show. I'm probably going to edit it probably tomorrow night. So as soon as it's done, this is Friday night as we're recording this, Saturday night. That's almost a full week. And you guys get it before it goes out live everywhere else. So I think that's about it. I got all my plugs. Yeah. All my plugs. Of course, you guys go check out the other great shows on the network at journeytocomics.com and follow that, subscribe to that feed. You can get like 9 shows on one feed.
Yeah, I totally threw in a Podcastrophy plug.
Yeah, hell yeah. Check out Podcastrophy. That's the other show that's on Thursdays, man.
Yeah.
So our good friends Dick and Tyler over there have a great show, and as do everybody. Everybody does a great job over there. They're all putting out great content, and every single day there's a new show dropping over there. So until next time, guys, I've been Brando.
And I've been Mike.
Thanks for watching this episode. Thanks for tagging along and getting into the heavy topics. And until next week, we'll see you then. Game on.